up on stream. So it looks like we have Necrotic Fate versus YesicanYenne, and Necrotic Fate giving me some ADL flashbacks because I've run the Steelix Hypno Core quite a bit there. Hitmontop as well, like one of those really interesting fighting types that you get to see when Medicham is banned. And then also the Mandibuzz, Venusaur, and Blastoise, so only missing Charizard from that first partner trio from Kanto. And then on YesicanYenne's team, we see the Alolan Sandslash, which I'm quite fond of. 2 water types that resist fighting, both of which would pair well with that Alolan Sandslash. We see Mantine with that newly buffed Aerial Ace, and Azumarill as well. Sableye, so a lot of protection for that Alolan Sandslash. That Hitmontop has quite a few obstacles. As well as the Shadow Machamp and Diggersby to round it out and add some anti-steal for Jessica. So that Steelix from Necrotic Fate, I love it, but it's going to be really tough to bring against Shadow Machamp, Azumarill, Diggersby, Alolan Sandslash. It's going to be a really tough time. But I really like that Blastoise as well from Necrotic Fate. It's just a very bulky water type. You have that Water Gun, Hydro Cannon pressure, a little bit better even than Water Gun Surf. And outside of Jessica's water types, not a lot that's going to resist any of that. Obviously, anytime you see Hypno, you got to play What's the Moveset, but that Sableye is up there to put a pretty big stop to it no matter what's doing. So this should be a pretty interesting match. Can't wait to see how it all plays out.
Oh, it's all going to play out a lot better than Mr. Dr. Pants' internet, that's for sure. As Mr. Dr. Pants will join us again. Fish, before we get into it. Hitmontop. We're gonna give it a couple of seconds. Hitmontop. I just need to shout out Hitmontop. It's one move and Hitmontop is like playing now because it's Hitmontop and it was never a thing before. The Hitmontop got the triple axle with the Hitmontop. Are we understanding how important Hitmontop could be now? Oh no, Fish! Somebody hit that muted sign. Yes.
I knew it was gonna happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, what I want to say about Hitmontop is I love its GIF animation. It's a sprite animation. It's like the flossing Pokemon. it's just like back and forth. I can't get enough of that. Yeah, are we ready to get into the battles?
Yeah. I think it's great when new moves come out and Pokemon jump from like number 400 to like could take out Altaria and Sandslash, right? As the Blastoise is right there on the lead onto that Sandslash, and that is where she want to have the Blastoise too, with that Water Gun there taking away at that Steel, that Medicham or that Alolan Sandslash doesn't want to see that, especially with the debuff from the Shadow version. Great call on the drill run.
Yeah, Necrotic Fate, not messing around, just shielding that real early. Even though the Blastoise can tank that Drill Run quite comfortably, Necrotic Fate's like, nah, I'm not interested at the moment. So the Hydro Cannon is going to come back thick and fast. The difference between the two, obviously, is that Water Gun pressure has added up to an extent that now one Hydro Cannon will be enough to take out the Sandslash, whereas a Drill Run won't be able to take out the Blastoise. So now the Blastoise gets to the next Hydro Cannon, and YesicanYenne has to make a decision. Are they going to use that second shield? And they don't.
I think it's called Jessica. I think her name is Jessica. I think someone's in the chat. YesicanYenne. These poor analysts. Thank you. Thank you for understanding.
In the chat, they're saying yes, I can.
As the foul play is coming off from the Sableye. Now, we haven't seen Sableye a lot be such a dominant presence. Another Pokemon that kind of fell off quietly out of the top 12. Sableye used to be the safe swap, but is here now showing dominance in these drafts. So it's not out as one of the top Pokemon for these draft metas, but it was not shining as another Frenzy Black comes out and gets the final shield from Jessica.
Yeah, so the Sableye is opting to... No! Oh, no! So that that matchup is very IV dependent on who wins CMP, and Yes I Can or Yesica has made a decision that has not paid off. It's lost CMP and lost all that energy that it built up. Now it is down to a Hypno versus a Azumarill matchup, and especially with Thunder Punch, I think the ball is in Hypno's court.
Oh my goodness. When you finally get the right punch on the Hypno, right? Like, whoo, you feel real good. This isn't a 7-punch Hypno. You're like, okay, Ice Punch, Shadow Ball. No, I needed a Thunder Punch. The Thunder Punch puts away the Azumarill. The Azumarill throws the Play Rough, and it's just going to do just a little bit of the health. As we heard from Miss Enhoff, this is absolute flashbacks of Season 1 and 2 as Hypno, known for his tankiness, but for the Shadow Claw users, came out, were absolutely dominant. A great Pokemon here by Necrotic Fate.
Ooh, now the Ice Beam does come out, and it is going to make me eat my words, because that Hypno is now having to use that second shield in order to get the job done. Ooh, using that Thunder Punch unnecessarily now. They could have Confusion down and come out with a fair amount of energy, but now that energy is, for the most part, that was the last Pokemon.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to figure that out. I was like, bro, you're going to feel real silly when that screen goes black.
I was too put off by the whole Yesica, Yes I Can.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Bringing in the Sableye and the double Shadow Claw users absolutely against that Hypno, but couldn't land or marry them up properly. Necro played great at that and now gets a leading matchup as both steals here are fighting against each other. Dragon Tail versus Shadow Claw, medium slump. Here it is. Here, the Hypnontop. The Hypnontop.
And Hypnontop, not using any fighting charge moves, going triple Axle and Stone Edge. Let's see how this plays out. Those counters are only single resisted.
But getting boofed.
Yeah, single resisted.
They're getting boofed.
And the foul plays are resisted on the other side. So the Sableye is going to go straight for a return, and we see straight away the no shield on Hypnontop's side. That Hypnontop is out of here, knocked for a home run.
Bye! See ya! And look at that, the Air Slash Mandibuzz comes in. Now, Fish, I prefer the Air Slash over the Snarl because of all the fighters and how much damage Air Slash does. The return will go through, knock Mandibuzz to half health, and now Mandibuzz is now looking like the flying Umbreon it's supposed to be, and not just a tanky dark Pokemon, as it is the Azumarill here. Not going to take, was it the Foul Play or the Dark Pulse? It is the Dark Pulse again. It looks like Dark Pulse is the way to go with the new Mandibuzz. Oh my goodness, it's Thunderfang.
Oh,
it's not even Dragon
It's
Tail,
Thunderfang. This is happening again. I'm getting flashbacks of previous Indigo leagues.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is not the first time we've had this. It is a Thunderfang Steelix against the Sandslash. This is a more effective move than Dragon Tail. It's obviously not getting to those moves quite as quickly as what Dragon Tail would. Now, the Breaking Swipe is going to come out and drop the Sandslash's energy, and I've played this matchup out in Ultra League quite a few times this week. Not with Thunderfang, but the drill runs don't do as much as you want them to do after a Breaking Swipe or two.
That's very interesting to know. I've not played the Steelix against this Slash in these last matchups. There's 2 drill runs ready to go. Double debuff Slash. We'll see if they throw the first one, swap out to lose the double debuff. I don't agree with this shield here, but a second drill run will come through now. And that, my friends, will be a little bit of damage to that Steelix. Those Thunderfangs, though, are going to chip away at this Azumarill. Here comes the next Breaking Swipe to debuff the Azumarill's attack. But the Mandibuzz is still in the back and doesn't have enough energy or charge moves to take out the Azumarill. This is great, though, because the Azumarill just threw all the energy.
Yeah, so the Azumarill is going to be relying on that massive HP stat to win the day here. I think it can get the job done, even though it has been attack debuffed. I don't think those aerial, like we said earlier, it's an energy buff, not a damage buff, so those things will just chip away, and I don't think it'll be able to chip away fast enough.
No, I don't even think the Play Rough, well, I don't know, I guess the Play Rough would probably take out the Mandibuzz from this point, double debuff. Is it 1 HP in a dream, Fish? That's good to know. At least a quarter of the health at that point. That's good to know.
So it is now 4-4. Flash and San Diego are both really evenly matched at the moment. They are just trading blows.
I'm loving it, and especially with this new meta, these new Pokemon that are coming out. Hitmontop playing well, forcing out Pokemon. You got the, I mean, yeah, we've seen Azumarill, Slash, and Sableye, but now you get the Machamp coming out here, and the Machamp rocking that rock slide, hitting it so hard, so fast, and will this shield Fish? Will the Mandibuzz shield this?
We'll find out.
Oh.
This is last second shield. I love those last second shields. They just keep you on the edge of your seat. Are they gonna do it or not? They finally do it. This is why Air Slash is preferred here. This Machamp matchup, that is going down further and further and further, mostly from just the power of those air slashes alone. Those aerial aces are coming out and forcing shields as well. Now the second rock slide is not going to be shielded by Necrotic Fate, so that Mandibuzz, I think, is going to be leaving the battlefield. It is. Let's see what comes out next.
He rock blasted that thing so hard out of the sky. Mandibuzz is out, but Swampert got the little bit of energy it wanted. Immediate swaps into the Steelix, and here comes the Sableye. Again, we saw what Thunderfangs were doing. Now we're going to see what the Steelix can take when it does a couple of breaking swipes onto the Sableye.
Yeah, Steelix is pretty safe into that whole line of three there. The Thunderfangs are adding up, the breaking swipes are adding up, the Foul Play is going to come in. We'll see how much damage that Foul Play does after one breaking swipe debuff. Really not much at all. Steelix is just so tanky. It's slightly tankier than Galarian Stunfisk as well. So that Steelix is just going to keep on consistently dealing out that damage and just firing out those breaking swipes. The fact that it is 35 energy just makes it so difficult to deal with.
Oh my goodness, it's so amazing, this breaking swipe move that's been slowly trickling in through our entire meta scene, and especially with Steelix getting it back. Look at what Thunderfangs are doing. More damage than Shadow Claws now, and forcing the Sableye to throw the energy. Sableye can no longer safely just farm down and feel good about itself. Has to force the energy, and Steelix is off the table, giving more energy back to the Blastoise, but it is the Azumarill in the back. And let me tell you something, we're gonna have to see the Hyper Beam land, Fish. We're gonna have to do the Hyper Beam land. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's not even
got the Skull Bash. It's got the Skull Bash, which will raise the Pokemon's defense one stage, and that will enable it to tank a couple more, well, at least one more charge move from the Azumarill as well. So I'm thinking it's going to be tough to pick it, but I'm thinking the ball is in the Blastoise's court now.
I want to say so. Here comes the play rough, Azumarill. You know, for one of the top 12 Pokemon that didn't make it to the day 2, Azumarill still has great play all around, as the Hydro Cannon is going to come through at the end here. It's a tough one.
Yeah, opting to go for the lower damage Hydro Cannon, thinking that the Azumarill is at a low enough HP. Not quite, but it will not be able to get to that charge move to make the Blastoise pay. Out comes that Sableye to say, like, hey, I guess it's all up to Ralph. But unfortunately, it doesn't get the job done either, and that Blastoise's finishing off the job.
That's what you call your Sableye, Ralph? Cofagrigus is Greg, Sableye is Ralph?
Anything that just has to carry the day and has absolutely no shot of doing it, I call it my Ralph.
You're Ralph. Love it. And then it wrecks, and then all of a sudden it's Wreck-It Ralph. That was a wonderful performance there by both battlers. The Mandibuzz with the Air Slash showing through, the Hypno coming out. But man, oh man, it was all about that Blastoise for sure. We'll have to see what the analysts have to say as we're going to head back. Hopefully we'll get Mr. Dr. Pants in there, and we'll see what they both have to say. So, analysts?
So yeah, I'm always a big fan of Hypno. I have been since, I think it was like season 2, there was quite a lot of Hypno. And that like Hypno Thunder Punch versus Ozzy matchup. If you played that Silph season 2, you've done that many a time. So and Venusaur as well has also been a fan favorite of mine. So I'm glad to see at least some of those get some play here.
Yeah, I really liked the Hypno. That Thunder Punch Shadow Ball moveset makes a lot of sense. looking at this team from YesicanYenne. Some other, potential with like Fire Punch to hit that Alolan Sand Slash would have made sense, but I can see being a little bit scared of that Sableye and wanting that Shadow Ball to be able to hit that neutrally. I love in particular the Steelix on Thunderfang. Seeing those two water types, saying this helps me against those two, also helps against the Alolan Sand Slash over the Dragon Fast move of Dragon Tail. So really interesting tech decision there that I'm quite fond of, and obviously the Mandibuzz as well on Air Slash, as we saw it against the Shadow Machamp, and also having better play against Azumarill. So I think this is a matchup that could be fairly straightforward, but you saw some really interesting individual decisions by each player on moves on their Pokemon.
And now we've seen two variants of the Mandibuzz. Unfortunately, we will not see a third, but there's many different variants. I like Pokemon like that can have like so many different possible movesets. And they're all viable in their own way. That's always fun to see. So,
yeah, I definitely agree. Again, also on that vein, the Hitmontop with no close combat. Another interesting Pokemon that you can maneuver different ways after that addition of Triple Axle.
I haven't used Triple Axle yet, actually, so I wasn't sure how it plays or quite what was going to happen there. So good to see. So I don't have to test it for myself. I can let these battlers do it for me.